Pakistan claims to have downed several Indian jets. While these are just claims, there is one alleged downing of an advanced Rafale as well, using Chinese-supplied J-10C fighters armed with PL-15 missiles. India completely rejects this claim and disputes the losses. But the mere possibility has sent shockwaves through one country, Taiwan. If French-designed jets are vulnerable to Chinese platforms, what hope do Taiwan's aging Mirages have? As Beijing sharpens its aerial teeth and tightens its grip over regional airspace, could Taiwan be the next target of Chinese air power dominance? Hello and welcome. You're watching Statecraft with me, Geeta Mohan. The Pakistan-India conflict this time around has moved from land to air. It was air capability that was at test. And it isn't just another flare-up in South Asia. It's a live demonstration of Chinese-made J-10C fighters taking on and allegedly downing one of the world's most respected Western jets. Whether or not India confirms the Rafale shootdowns, the psychological and strategic tremors are real. For one country, Taiwan, which faces daily incursions by the PLA Air Force. The message is chilling. Chinese air power is no longer theoretical. It's battle-tested, exportable, and potentially superior in key combat domains. How should Taiwan interpret this unfolding clash, and what changes must it make before it's too late? According to multiple reports, Pakistan's Air Force reportedly deployed its newly acquired Chinese-made J-10C fighters armed with the formidable PL-15E Beyond Visual Range, that is BVR missiles, to engage Indian Air Force jets in aerial skirmishes over Kashmir and adjoining territories. The PF claims it shot down Indian aircraft, including a Rafale. These are bold assertions. India has categorically denied losing any Rafales, and international observers are demanding verifiable evidence. Still, Chinese media is celebrating the incident as a proof of concept for its homegrown air power. And that's precisely what worries Taiwan.
Taiwan was looking at this war at this conflict very carefully. Taiwan has been looking at all conflicts very carefully and learning out of it, but especially this conflict because 81% of the Pakistani weapons and weapon systems are Chinese. Though Pakistan doesn't have the best Chinese systems, but they have decent Chinese system, not the top grade, but the mid grade.
Yes.
And Taiwan employs a strategy called porcupine strategy, which is deterrence by denial. When you employ such strategy, you have to carefully consider the opposition's offensive capability. And in this case, when the conflict started, Pakistan was the one sending drones. Pakistan was the one trying to attack our system. So that was the offensive capability. How Taiwan is looking at this, Taiwan is learning Taiwan is learning from India, as in how to defend against offensive capabilities using air defense system. And Taiwan is looking at use of Chinese mid-grade weapons like J-10C fighter, then J-17 Thunder, and their CM-400 AKG hypersonic missiles, which were majorly used against India. Some of them, as you rightly pointed out, some of them hit, some of them did not hit. Taiwan is looking at how India used its deterrence capability to stop them mid-air and in the terminal phase. But there is definitely a worry factor within Taiwan, maybe because of information warfare, maybe because of some facts that reportedly some of the Indian aircrafts were hit, or there was a collateral damage that India also had, despite being very punitive in its attack to Pakistan. So there is definitely a little bit of caution against Chinese weapon in Taiwan's policy-making system right now.
Over the past 5 years, China has supplied over 80% of Pakistan's imported weaponry, including the J-10C, HQ-9 air defense systems, and the much-hyped PL-15 long-range missile. While these exports serve Pakistan's strategic needs, they also fulfill a deeper purpose for Beijing. For China, Pakistan is more than a military ally. It's a live fire testing ground. The recent India-Pakistan skirmish gave Beijing something it rarely gets: real-world combat data. Chinese systems were deployed against NATO standard weapons, French Rafales, Israeli drones, and Russian-origin S-400. This was no simulation. For the first time, China saw its technology in a high-stakes fight against Western equipment, all without risking a single Chinese pilot or sparking diplomatic escalation. Analysts are already calling Pakistan China's unofficial weapons lab. China's arms industry is massive but largely untested in real war. The India-Pakistan engagement gave Beijing a perfect opportunity to assess how its jets, radars, and missiles perform against experienced adversaries. The outcome helps Chinese defense planners tweak everything from hardware design to electronic warfare tactics. If Chinese systems can compete with or outperform Western equivalents, that's a marketing jackpot. Reports of Rafales being bested by J-10Cs have flooded Chinese state media, sending the stock prices of defense firms like AVIC Chengdu soaring. Every Pakistani kill becomes a sales pitch for potential buyers in Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East, or also known as West Asia. Markets traditionally dominated by the US, France, and Russia.
But for weapon systems, definitely Taiwan is looking at Pakistan because 81%, as I pointed out, 81% of the weapons are from Pakistan, are from China, and these weapons are not tested yet. Yes, these weapons were tested in exercises between Pakistan and India, Pakistan and China, China-Cambodia military exercises. But in the real battlefield situation, in high pressure, where you have to deliver results, these weapons were not tested yet. So now that weapons are being tested in a real situation, Pakistan is a good case study for Taiwan to study how Chinese mid-grade weapons would be used. However, having said that, if hypothetically a conflict happens between China and Taiwan, there are much advanced weapons that would be used, which are not with Pakistan right now, which China would use. And the defense systems would also be very different because the Taiwanese defense systems are purely American. Our defense systems are a combination of Russian, Israeli defense systems, some part of American, and then our self-manufactured. So these are two different ball games. Also, one important lesson for Taiwan here is integration of a defense.
The recent clash between Pakistan's J-10Cs and India's Rafales sent shockwaves far beyond South Asia. In Taipei, alarm bells rang. Taiwan's frontline jets aren't all that different from India's, and across the strait, China is fielding a fighter fleet that's bigger, newer, and evolving at blistering speed. What Taiwan sees in its skies now isn't just a threat, it's an entire doctrine of air dominance being assembled piece by piece, brigade by brigade. China isn't just building more jets, it's building a modern air force from scratch. Over 100 or close to 155th generation J-20 mighty dragons now prowl Chinese skies, armed with long-range PL-15 missiles and flying with radar profiles that make them nearly invincible. The J-16, China's upgraded Su-30 clone, is now a multi-role beast with AESA radar and precision strike capabilities. The J-10C, the very jet used by Pakistan, is China's tactical workhorse, now numbering over 300, agile, radar-evading, and missile-rich. Add in J-11s, J-15 carrier jets, and the stealthy J-35A just entering service, and you have a force that isn't just prepared to dominate Taiwan, it's prepared to outlast it. Taiwan's Air Force, by contrast, is fighting for parity. Yet to be delivered F-16V Vipers, nearly 140 retrofitted and 66 brand new Block 70s, are sharp, capable, and paired with US AIM 120D missiles. They're the best jets Taiwan's ever flown, but they're not stealthy and they're outnumbered. Supporting them are around 55 aging Mirage 2005s. Many have been retired, and about 100 indigenous IDF FCK-1 Ching Kuo light fighters which are good for point defense but not built for extended dogfights against stealthy opponents. The old F-5EFs are barely relevant, kept around more for training than actual combat. In total, Taiwan's flying about 260 modern fighters. That's a third of what China can field if you're being generous. And when it comes to stealth, China has it. Taiwan doesn't. When it comes to long-range missiles, China's PL-15s outrange even the best AMRAAMs. When it comes to sheer saturation, China's jets will come in waves. The first will hit radar stations and air bases. The second will take the runway and fuel depots. The third will establish air superiority before Taiwan's reserves even scramble.
Taiwan still doesn't have air defense capabilities right now. They have purchased American Patriot missiles, which will be delivered this year and next year if there is no delay. So there is a huge gap there, and Taiwan is majorly worried about that right now because hypothetically, if something happens today, Taiwan doesn't have air defense capabilities. They have some missile capabilities, but not enough to defend their major cities and military installations. Taiwan is, I am pretty sure there is a cooperation between India and Taiwan regarding how to protect yourself from drones, use of drones and drone swarms. This has been a major learning for Taiwan since the Russia-Ukraine war, since Israel-Palestine conflict, and now India-Pakistan, the use of drones and drone swarms. So that is something that Taiwan is definitely looking at.
The strategic picture is brutal. Taiwan's jet faced three fundamental problems. First, survivability. China has enough ballistic missiles to crater every major airstrip on the island in the first 15 minutes of a war. Second, endurance. Even if jets survive the opening strike, how long can they fly sorties with bases under siege, supply chains cut, and airspace contested? Third, reach. Taiwan's fighters are defensive assets. They're not designed to project power or take the fight deep into Chinese territory. China's J-10Cs, on the other hand, can launch missiles from standoff ranges well outside Taiwan's engagement envelope. This isn't just a number game, it's a generational leap. China's Air Force is no longer built on Soviet bones. It's an integrated strike platform, powered by domestic industry, informed by foreign conflicts, and now tested in proxy wars from the Himalayas to the Gulf. Taiwan, even with US help, is racing to hold the line with a fraction of the resources and none of the strategic depth. The balance of air power across the Taiwan Strait is no longer in flux. It has tilted. China doesn't just have more planes, it has newer doctrines, longer range missiles, and a production line that can churn out fighters faster than Taiwan can refuel them. While Taiwan's F-16Vs are world-class, they're rapidly becoming the last line of defense in a sky increasingly controlled by the PLA. The Pakistan-India clash proved China's fighters aren't paper tigers. They're combat-capable, export-tested, and integrated into a broader strategy of air dominance. For Taiwan, the question is no longer just whether its fighters are good enough, it's whether they'll even get a chance to fight at all. Thank you for watching Statecraft.